2022, and I am making this video in English. The reason, let me introduce myself, sorry. This is me, Amarjit Singh Narula. This is my colleague Shilpa Uttam Khedegarji. And this is a book that we've written on health and wellness using color therapy. We had our program on Astha channel for 12 years between 2006 and 2018. The reason why I'm making this video is because a video gives me a chance to communicate my side of the story, basically connected to health and wellness. And when there is a situation I feel that could make a difference to somebody's life, even one person's life, I decide to make a video. I try to make it regularly, but for the past 3 weeks, due to certain situation, I was not able to make any video because we lost somebody very dear to us. And it really shook me. Death shakes everybody. Why not? Because when somebody is very precious to you, even if they are not family, and they are not there any longer, so it is quite difficult. So, and due to certain family issues at home, I was not able to make a video after the 7th of April. But yesterday I saw an opportunity to make a video, and I decided that let me make a video and share it. Well, we all want to live healthy and happily. Wealth is not an issue here. Healthy and happy. Now, many people who have lots of money are unwell despite spending lots of money on their illness. Somebody in the family or the other is suffering, and they are always at a loss to understand, despite all our efforts, despite being together, somebody continues to suffer, and that does not allow happiness in the entire family, because ultimately we are together. And it could be a dear friend's family also. If somebody is suffering and you are connected to that family, then you feel some sort of bonding with that family or friend, or even an unknown person, or somebody who did something good for humanity and he suffers, then we also get affected. So to feel pain of others is what humanity is all about. It's like some people suffering in a fire accident, or maybe jungle fires, maybe earthquake and floods, and all humanity worldwide starts contributing in various means and forms. Some people pray, some people help physically by arriving there, giving up their jobs or leaving their job for some time, leaving their family and arriving there. And some people knowingly and unknowingly start motivating others to chip in, and they also start contributing money and efforts and motivating people. So I feel that is what humanity is all about. Being there in times of need for somebody and helping out at that moment of need. Now, why am I making this video? Well, yesterday in the northeast of India, the Tata Group, claps to them, the Tata Trust inaugurated 7 healthcare facilities connected to cancer, along with the Prime Minister of India and the Chief Minister of Assam, and widely publicized. Why not? Why shouldn't it be? because it's an achievement which very few industrialists in India have done, or hardly anybody has done it. They have done it on a commercial basis, on a one-on-one basis. But unlike what the Tatas do, or the Tata Trust have been doing, have been doing since their reception, knows no boundaries. In the sense, for them, India is a family. So, very proud that yesterday Mr. Ratan Tata was on stage despite his age of 84, despite his health parameters which are visible by stooping, spine issues. But he dedicated from stage that whatever are my last few years, God bless you, with long life, he would dedicate to the upliftment of health for the people of India. I salute his commitment always, and his new commitment, that knowing very well that he is one of those who would do the best despite the resources at their disposal. So it's a great big commitment to say in your life that I would give the balance years of my life for the upkeep of health in India. Thank you, sir. I would be sharing this personally on their Facebook to Mr. Ratan Tata and the Prime Minister's office and the President of India's office, because I feel that we need to understand certain logic behind why people get sick. Opening 7 hospitals of cancer is no doubt a great achievement for anybody. To commit 7 more is a bigger achievement. But I have a very simple logic that I would like to put forward, which should be investigated. In the Northeast, sir has opened 7 units yesterday. Lots of effort has gone in. In Mumbai, we got the Tata Memorial Hospital, which has been there since independence. And I've proudly worked in the engineering department as a contractor, doing renovation work. I'm very grateful, and I had that opportunity. And then again, under the Department of Atomic Energy, DAE, they are working on other projects of cancer hospitals across different parts of India. And gradually, even those units would open up and start serving people locally, so that people are not put at a discomfort to travel to Mumbai and seek the services of such a noble trust. And on the part of various Sikh organizations in Mumbai, who are doing a lot for providing accommodation in various gurdwaras in Dadar, Sion Kolewada, and Ghatkopar, Kurla. These are 4 locations I am aware, because I am connected to them, and I regularly visit those locations. So I am aware of these 4 locations where rooms are available at a very economical charge, and various people have been living there in those gurdwaras by showing their applications and their case histories and their date of admission, and they are always given rooms when available, and they stay there for the duration of the treatment. Many trusts are doing it in Dadar and across Mumbai. So we should also appreciate those people. But coming back, and even the Guru Nanak kitchen is serving people in Tata Hospital daily with meals for the people who are staying there, the families and even the patients. So that is another noble service that the Singh Sabha of Bombay has taken up, Guru Nanak's Rasoi, in Mumbai, Cancer Hospital in Parel, where they've been officially given a place, and until the end of this world, that kitchen would continue to serve humanity irrespective of caste, creed, color. Now, coming to this topic of prevention or treatment. Treatment is required, for which hospitals are made, specialized hospitals like the ones that we are talking of that were inaugurated yesterday, and across India, more to come. They will continue to come. Why? Because cancer is on the rise. Now, how do you understand what to do? Opening hospitals, getting trained manpower. Opening a hospital is not very difficult. You need land. The state governments are always willing to offer land. You need money. You have Tata Trusts and a few other trusts. Tata Trust is the main that I am aware of, and a few other trusts who are doing it on a small level. So all these people come together and work locally. But do we understand why it is rising? Because if we are able to check the location, check why and how it is rising, it is on a rising scale compared to maybe 10 or 20 years ago or maybe 50 years ago, then we would be able to nip it in the bud. I'll share a case because I'm a civil engineer. I suffered with ulcerative colitis and I was able to resolve it, cure it, treat it using a combination of alternative therapies. So during my journey, I came across geopathic stress. Okay, geopathic stress, ley lines, L-E-Y, ley lines are zones of stress in the earth surface. Now, these ley lines or geopathic lines go back to the year 1929 in France. I will share the link of Wikipedia which I searched. I was aware, but I wanted to share it. So I will share the Wikipedia link with that doctor's name and what research he did and the various few researches that have gone into this geopathic stress in my comments for everybody to understand what I'm talking about. And then you are of course welcome to invite us if you're interested. How to verify, because I have made videos on how to verify geopathic stress is available or not and how to block it. Because many a times I have seen cases where cancer has occurred or unexplained illnesses have occurred where everything is so wonderful, in the sense rich people, big palatial houses, lots of money, and still ending up with very complicated, unresolved health issues, brain tumors, cancerous, non-cancerous. You can't say it's non-cancerous or cancerous until you do a biopsy. Then liver failure, kidney failure, autoimmune disorders, and spinal disorders, pains, migraines, stress. So many issues I've observed as a result of geopathic stress. I have made many videos. The best way to observe geopathic stress is to go into a jungle and you would observe stunted growth of trees or trees with huge tumors on the trunks. Those are the locations along which you can find a straight line or a line crossing that zone. Along that line, you would find similar type of trees in that situation. If you go to Africa, we were in Arusha, we were traveling from Arusha to Ngorongoro crater for a safari 2 years back, and we observed ant hills, huge ant hills across the road in the center, and on both the sides I saw ant hills taller than 10 to 20 feet. I stopped the car and I stood in the line and I could observe them across the road. I could cross them across the road in one line. So it's like crossing the line. So you would have seen many zones where you find snakes, where you find red ants, where you find scorpions, where you find cats sleeping. Those are the zones in which geopathic stress is available. Now, this was investigated in 1929 by a French doctor who was posted in a hilly region of France. That's where he observed that people are predominantly suffering from one type of illness back in 1929. And when he was given additional charge of another new location, this was the new location for him, but he was given another charge of another location around 15-20 kilometers away. And there, when he got the data of the past patients, those illnesses that he found here in the first health center were not much visible or rarely visible 15 to 20 kilometers uphill or down that same road where he had been posted and given additional charge. That is when he decided to call in the scientists and investigate why and what is the reason why people in one location are suffering from a host of complex disorders, cancers, and those in other parts down the line are not. I think we need to understand, we means the people on top need to understand that we need to go to the root cause. It could be diet, nutrition, any cause that can lead to suffering with illness, and the solution could start with the prevention at that down level. Now you say, how do you block geopathic stress? Well, it's very simple. There are geopathic rods which can be, say, if you've got a huge plot, if this is a plot and your buildings are in the middle, so you can do the geopathic stress of this entire plot by installing geopathic rods in the ground across that line, which you diagnose using a geopathic tester, and embedding those rods in the ground for that area. So if it's done on the ground floor, it would have an impact on the upper floors, which we have verified at various locations on personal visits. That is why I made this video, because it needs to be investigated why in the Northeast, because I was looking at the data somebody had, so since morning I was going through various appreciation posts of Mr. Tata and his efforts, and then somebody shared data of the states that are suffering from cancer in India. And then I was wondering that that person has done a lot of research in listing the few states where it is more prevalent in comparison to other states. It could be geopathic, it could be diet. There could be many reasons why some locations are more affected while some are minimally affected. That has to be investigated. I must add that a few years ago I was at Bangkok airport coming back to India, and while waiting in the departure lounge, I happened to meet a doctor from India. I didn't know she was a doctor. We just started talking, and she said, "I'm a doctor." And so I said, "Wow, I help people get without medicine." She was a gynec oncologist, gynec oncologist. So that was the first time I realized that cancer is so specialized, cancer knowledge is so specialized that you have gynec oncologists. So she was a lady attached to one of the topmost hospitals in Mumbai. So she was telling me that she was coming back after attending a conference. And I said, "What did you learn in the conference?" "Something new." So she said, "I was taken aback when one of the conferences that we could attend, because it was, you had a venue in which there were 4 conferences going on at one time. So you can choose the subject that you want to attend." So she said, "I have never attended a subject where nutrition was one aspect of treatment of cancer." And she said that really they showed the data, they showed the proof, and how nutrition could help in the recovery along with the regular medication or the regular treatment that was being done by the patients in that test, in that sampling, and how nutrition helped in the recovery, faster recovery or whatever, which was quite enlightening for that doctor to understand. And she said, we as doctors tend to overlook the aspect of nutrition within such cases. So I said, "Oh, what do you feel?" She said, "I think that the time has come that everybody needs to think of nutrition also to help recovery." So that is why I feel that recovery is one aspect, finding the cause is another aspect. So the cause could be nutrition. Before the influx of fast food in India, I'm sure you can understand, the prevalence of complex disorders or autoimmune disorders was different, not very much, but was different as compared to when the influx began and the influence and the food habits of we Indians started changing. I think this calls for urgent attention by the government also, by the health ministry, by the Prime Minister's office, and of course by the people, because it begins with you. I have seen cases where I was discussing in a meeting with somebody recently last week that a young boy, 21 years old, 2 years ago, 21, today is 23, he had a small issue on a part of the tongue. So they went to the biggest hospitals, a lot of rush. Then they decided to go to the private doctors from that hospital who were practicing now outside. Lots to say, but not to be mentioned. Then they went back to that same hospital after some trial and errors. They did the biopsy and it was stage 2 cancer. A young boy, 21 years old, 2 years ago. Then they removed a major part of the tongue and didn't need chemo. It was nipped in the bud, but he lost part of his tongue. Never smoked, never took tobacco by mouth, because that's the first thing I questioned. Smoke, alcohol, tobacco. They said nothing. Rarely smoke, rarely. Only 21 when it was diagnosed. It did take time to get it diagnosed because the people whom they went to were not able to do it properly. But when they met somebody, then they decided to go back and wait it out and get it done, get a biopsy done. I've seen small children with blood cancer, small, living in the Gurdwara in Kurla, because we would go on a Sunday. I've heard of a family friend with very big doctors, entire families of doctors. The mother passed away with blood cancer recently. I was not aware. It's just that when we were discussing about that family, that I came to know that the mother had blood cancer and she passed away. Then in the building that we are living, there are cases of the same problem somewhere in these locations in Mumbai. Then I was invited for a talk, but when I analyzed and I tried to explain to them, that person was not willing to understand my logic. So they didn't proceed with our services. But when I realized that doing exceptionally well in life, lots of money, opulent house, still suffering. Same with many cases that we have consulted, and I now think that geopathic stress could be one of those reasons that majority of our cases are inflicted. I had a case from Pune where the family was very rich and the wife consulted me on WhatsApp, and I for the husband, and I asked the history, where does the husband sleep. So in the bedroom, he's been living there for many years. They have a house in Bombay. So the wife is mostly in Bombay, husband is mostly in Pune because the business is there. Then I told them about this geopathic issue. So they chose to ignore it. Then after a few weeks, I got a call and they said above the same bedroom was another bedroom, and that gentleman suffered with the same issue, with cancer, and he recovered. I said, good. So she said, so we don't need your consultation. We don't need to understand your geopathic stress. We will manage. I said, I pray. And after a few weeks on the Facebook, it was posted that he expired. I don't say geopathic stress will cure your problem. What I'm trying to say is geopathic could be one of the causes which could be a hindrance in the recovery. Or I've seen patients with tumors in the brain. I've done the analysis of that house, and it was from that same location of sleep. He had GBM, glioblastoma, GBM cancer of the brain. Passed away within 1 year. We means geopathic stress cannot stop the progression. But if we resolve the issue, maybe we can help in recovering the client. Because it will continue to, it's like you have an ice cream shop next to a furnace. And that because of that furnace in that neighboring shop, the climate outside and around your shop is very hot. So even if you try to put ACs in your room, that impact of that heat is still going to come into your ice cream factory, because that surrounding area will be hot. So it's the same with this geopathic stress. It could be one of the reasons why certain parts of the country or certain parts of the world are prone to more illnesses of a particular type. And if those zones are blocked, hopefully the future could be different. So I hope my my sharing is taken in good spirit, because whatever I've talked from my personal experience and from my knowledge that I've gained in all these years since practicing alternative medicine, because we do not give any medicine. We work without medicine. So we may recommend certain nutrition which is easily available in the market, or certain fruits and vegetables which everybody eats, or certain fruits and vegetables which can be avoided based on various factors to help the clients get recovered. They have to continue with their treatment that they are undergoing. It could be medication, it could be chemo, it could be radiation, it could be anything that they have been recommended by Ayurveda, allopathy, homeopathy, Unani, whatever they are choosing. They have to continue with that and integrate different systems from outside. We do not need any intake. Of course, food is an intake, nutrition is an intake. If I tell you eating an apple is good, so it becomes nutrition. If I tell you moringa is good, wheatgrass is good, this is all nutrition. It becomes nutrition, but it's a way of life. So avla, gooseberry is good for vitamin C. So drinking boiled water, it's oral, but it is a way of life for us in India. Applying oil on your navel after your bath, it's a way of life in India. But overseas, it becomes like a medical practice. So I hope I'm able to convey my message. I hope it's taken in positive sense. And I'm sure that we can have a fruitful discussion anytime anybody wants to give me a call. Thank you, and once again I appreciate from the bottom of my heart the efforts of the Tata Trust for their inauguration of hospitals and care centers across India, and yesterday in Assam, and many more to come. Another is going to be opening soon in North India. And I'm very happy when I see such, because ultimately civil engineers toil very hard building those buildings. I'm a civil engineer, passed out in 1984 from Mumbai. And when a civil engineer builds a project, he builds it with his sweat. I was in Iraq in 1986, 85, 86. I remember what a huge project we had. 1,000 housing units. We had a jail, we had a AC jail in Baghdad built. Then we had supermarket, then we had a nursery school, then we had a care center, then we had a hospital, then we had a police station, then we had gyms. So it was like a complex. It was a town on the outskirts in Al-Baya district of Baghdad. So I feel that a civil engineer is a pioneer because he has to go in when nothing exists. And he goes out after creating what was on a piece of paper and implements it on the ground, lives at the project site for a few years and move on to the next project. And they leave behind a legacy of development. So, and the architects in the offices sit down with the designers, with the requirements, make buildings, send us drawings. At site, we evaluate the drawings for any issues, and slowly we build up from barren land into the finished product. So that is what has gone into these 7 multi-speciality care centers across Northeast, and many more to come. So I'm now, the situation will go into the hands of all the doctors, all the nurses, and all the paramedics who will now take ahead this project and ensure that people get benefit from the infrastructure that has been created by Tata Trusts. I thank the government of India for taking this initiative always, because we've been independent for around 74 years. And every time some people have come in and taken a step ahead, and they've benefited the future of humanity in India and of course overseas also, because people overseas would also take benefit from these facilities and come and take the help of the expertise of the doctors in the northeast. So Bangladesh, Myanmar, Nepal, and the northeast countries out of India, they would be easily accessible. And the northeast, of course, right up to Arunachal Pradesh, would be taking benefit from this new infrastructure developed. And I thank Mr. Ratan Tata for taking this initiative and dedicating his balanced life. I pray, not I, actually whole of humanity prays always that you are always well, hale and hearty, and you are able to do more for humanity than you desire. And in case this is an open offer to Mr. Tata, that I often see you stooping forward at this age. We are available to please let us know. We would be honored to come and visit you and talk to you, and maybe do some acupuncture or acupressure or color therapy, and hopefully help improve your life. I'm sure you have got the best of doctors available at a phone call away. But I also we also offer, me and my colleague, we also offer our whatever knowledge we have, so that we can help. It's open to everybody, and for us it's a way of earning a living. And now that Maharashtra Acupuncture Council has been officially endorsed by the government of Maharashtra through Act of Parliament, we are more happy that the government of Maharashtra has given us official recognition to the people who passed the exam to practice under law and help more people. So acupuncture also, acupressure also is now legal since the passing of this law of Maharashtra Acupuncture Council, and it's just a matter of time when you would find many acupuncturists across Maharashtra offering their services in various hospitals across the state, officially protected under law, just like the Medical Council of Maharashtra and Medical Council of India. But this is basically Maharashtra Acupuncture Council which has been formed. So it took effort of many years, and we are happy that we are a part of it. So once again, I thank everybody for watching this. It has been lengthy, but I feel that a message has to go out properly, and it cannot be small. It cannot be explained within a second. So thank you very much. Signing off again. My introduction, Amarjit Singh Narula, my colleague Shilpa Uttam Khedekar. That's me. We had a program on Astha channel for 12 years, daily 22 minutes, talking about Sujok therapy and how it could help humanity, and how we could help and change few lives, and my own life and my colleague's life. So thank you very much. I bow to the soul and the souls of all the great people of our country who have made a difference in the past, and to all the souls who are making a difference to the lives of the suffering people not only in India but all over the world, being from India. So thank you very much. Jai Hind.